I'm not that old, so it's definitely not like 50 cents. That kind of,
Do you remember what was a plate of chicken rice back in your uni days?
I think it's $2. I can't actually remember, but I'm not that old, so it's definitely not like 50 cents. That kind of ancient days. But uni canteens are really cheap. I really saved a lot of money back then. But I think it was $2.
Today, I think minimum is $3, if I'm
Yes.
not wrong.
Inflation.
Yes, correct. What is inflation?
Inflation is like when everything becomes more expensive. You feel it, right? Like everywhere. Bus fare more expensive, chicken rice more expensive. Everything becomes more expensive because there's more lending of money, there's more printing of money, and naturally everything goes up in price.
Yes, correct.
Do you know how is this inflation index calculated in Singapore?
It's measured by the percentage increase in our consumer price index, correct?
Yes. They have
Uh,
a whole basket of things.
Generally, inflation tends to be around 2%, correct? I think anything above 3% is considered high already.
Yes, correct. Because if you see, right, 3% increment, right, that means our bus fares are increasing by at least 3%. And actually, what is in the main basket of the CPI index?
Consists of our day-to-day needs, such as our housing,
Mm.
food, transport, education, and
Education. Okay.
yes, and maybe our clothing and some household needs.
So
Oh, not to
education
mention
cost has
healthcare.
gone up, right? I mean, uni fees have been a sticking point among, when you do financial planning, university saving costs.
Yes. Actually, poly fees and uni fees are the one that increase the most,
Mm.
while secondary school fees and primary school fees remain
Oh,
relatively flat.
that one is controlled by MOE, right? So they're on different.
Yes.
Because private sector for tertiary education exists. Then I can also share healthcare costs, right? Actually, it's been skyrocketing quite a bit. Because if you see for your health insurance plan, you see that the premiums have jumped significantly because there's private sector healthcare, government sector healthcare, and all these costs have been really climbing quite a bit.
So what about the Singapore's inflation in 2021?
I think we originally had low expectations. I think like 1% or less. That's something I read before. But then I think, it's forecasting to increase because overseas is increasing already.
Yeah, correct. I
Then,
think our
uh,
economy is very dependent on the
yes,
performance of other larger economies, right?
because we import things, right? Correct. We don't produce,
Correct.
I don't know, rice.
We
So housing. I think housing has been in the news quite a bit. Housing prices have gone up. HDB even quite a bit in the
Yes,
first
correct.
quarter. So I think housing is part of the index, and if housing prices go up, naturally it pull up inflation index.
Yes, correct.
Now, also maybe let's talk about a point on what to do, because there should be solutions or what action plans can be done. Correct.
Yes, definitely.
So on your own, you have any idea or not? Like any parts you've thought of before what to do against inflation?
I have read it from an investor point of view where people are investing in gold
Mm,
or
mm,
probably like putting it into the stock market
mm.
because the real value of savings will definitely decrease.
Yes, correct. I think we can create a subsequent podcast to elaborate a bit further what to do on that investment front. These are investment front ideas.
Yes, correct.
I can also share in terms of full-time employment, most companies have 2 to 3% in terms of salary growth for most staff.
Yes.
But then for actually there should be also two segments. So if you are someone younger in career, actually that 2-3% should not be the focus. You should look to build your career, climb up the ladder, deliver more value to the corporation, and grow your income from there. But then for someone more senior ranks, actually this 2-3% inflation growth to their income is not guaranteed. Sometimes they don't increase also, or sometimes they can get retrenched. So also different life stage, at least for salary point of view.
Should we buy housing now with impending inflation?
I think if you're buying for homestay, then the answer is likely yes. Because housing, if you look 20 years, more likely than not, it's going to be more expensive, right?
Yes, correct.
Then I can also share like Orchard freehold, last time in 1990s, it was only 800 per square feet. But right now it's more than 3,000 per square feet. So in the short term, nobody knows whether housing prices will go up or down. But if it's for homestay 20 years, right, I think buying as early as possible is actually a sensible thing to do.
Thank you for being a listener. Click on the follow and we'll see you in a future episode.